Alright guys, so it's been a day or two, actually it's been 2 days since I've painted everything. It's been sitting. I'm actually getting the wing prepped. I'm going to put everything on tomorrow, but I'm getting the wing prepped because, I'll show you here in a second, I want to put some bolts on the bottom of the wing and I want to weld them like this JB weld, and so I'm going to test fit it and then put those holes there so I can get those set up. My brother Uriah is here to help me, and so what I'm debating here, it was originally sitting, like this. So it was like hanging off a little bit, versus I'm thinking about putting it down like this. I'm not sure. I think that's the way I'm gonna go. But basically what I have to do is remove this spoiler here. There's the 2 holes on here. That's for like the stock wing. That's where they go through. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the placement on that, and then I'm going to mark them on the bottom with a marker through, and then that way I'll know exactly where the bolts need to go. And then I'll drill a hole under the wing, and then I'm gonna place a nut or a bolt upside down into the wing, and then like I said, I'm gonna weld that with a JB weld in there, and hopefully between those 2 bolts that'll keep the spoiler on there nice and sturdy. I'm obviously gonna put something in between. I made that mistake of not doing that before, and you can see it roughed it up here a little bit. So I'm gonna put some sort of like foam padding in there, or maybe some sort of like double-sided tape or something to make it a little bit smoother, so it's not, you don't hear it clacking back and forth. But we're gonna go ahead and get it set up and try and tilt this up and mark the spots on the bottom. All right, just real quick, I'm gonna show you here. That is what it looks like. There's a mark there and a mark up there, and same on the other side. I'm not gonna do it tonight because I don't have the bolts and nuts. I looked and I can't find anything that's gonna work good, so I won't be doing it tonight. But I'm gonna go get some tomorrow and then jump back in with you guys and see if we can get those holes drilled and then those bolts set in place. And then by tomorrow we'll be able to put the rest of this stuff on. I have right here with me some double-sided tape, which I'm gonna use on the side skirts and then the front lip to mount it to the car. That's $40 worth of stuff right there, but I'll show you how to do that tomorrow, like I said, when we get everything put back together, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so it is the next day. I have the Civic behind me, I have the spoiler in front of me, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing for a bolt setup. I have this bolt here. It kind of has like that flanged edge to it, so hopefully when I seat that down into the spoiler, so when it goes in like this, I'll be able to put epoxy around that, and then that flange will prevent it from pulling out when I pull on the wing. Those holes were already there, kind of messed up. I know, nothing really I can do about that. But I have a lock washer that will go to follow on the bottom of the trunk. And then I'm going to be using wing nuts. A lot of people might say this is a bad idea, but I'm looking from the standpoint of how easy it will be to take the spoiler off in future. If I ever do decide to do any sort of like future work on the car, I can't really explain right now. But as far as that, and if I'm just doing any sort of like compounding, polishing, anything like that, working around a wing is quite painful versus if I can pop the trunk and in 2 minutes have the wing off. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. If I need to switch it out later, I will, but for now we're going to go with this. I'm going to go ahead and get a right size bit and drill these holes and then start getting the epoxy ready and trying to figure out a way to get it to go down in there without getting it all over the threads and ruining them. So yeah, let's see what happens. Alrighty guys, so one thing I want to point out, when you go to Ace, make sure you check all of your bolt fitment correctly before you purchase, because as you can see I was using these wing nuts on top of those bolts there, and I bought 6 so I would have extra, and these 3 wing nuts don't match the bolts. They were all in the same bin, but somebody was mixing the wing nuts and the bolts, So all the bolts are the same size, but the wing nuts, they changed. 3 of the wing nuts were one size, 3 of them were the correct size. So I found a bolt in the garage here that works for now. I'll just go and buy another wing nut just to replace this once I go to put it on the car. But as you can see, I used something here to space it, because that way the wing nut wouldn't get stuck directly to the panel there. And then I put some tape there, which will hopefully peel up pretty easy once I go to there. But hopefully once this dries, I'll be able to remove these wing nuts here, and you know, sort of just pull that away, and hopefully this will come right off, the tape will come off, and then those will be nice and sturdy in there, and then I'll be able to mount the wing up. We'll see. I'll probably give it a couple hours, maybe even just another day or so. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna move right on to the front lip. We're gonna put that on the bumper before we install it on the car, and then we'll pull the car in here and start doing the side skirts, figuring out how to do that. So let's jump right into the first step. All right, so first things, this kind of lip right here mounts directly on. It has these 2 little bolt holes right here that go on the side there once it fits on, but as far as any other sort of mounting, there is none. Otherwise, it's all just fitting form. So what I'm gonna do is this lip here sits up in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick some double-sided tape on the back of this lip right here, all along here. I'll probably end it right here actually because of this weird curve thing. And then I'm gonna make it so it sticks firmly down in here, and I don't have to worry about it popping up all the time or anything like that. So I'm gonna go put some double-sided tape on that, and then we'll probably use some self-tappers, or maybe even try figuring out a bolt and nut system here to mount this to the bumper itself. But let me try mounting this up and see how it goes. Alright guys, so I have it all installed as you saw there in that time lapse. I'll give you a show right here. Looks pretty good. The hardest part was getting this seam right here to close up. This one was the worst, but I did get some double-sided tape and put it in there and kind of collapse it and hold it and press it for a while. So now that's better. And then that's this side over here as well, which doesn't look as bad. And then I ended up only doing double-sided tape there because here it actually goes up over the lip, but it's fine. So the only places, let me see, I put some self-tapper here, and then there's some on the bottom detaching it from wobbling this way. So that looks pretty good here. We're gonna go ahead and turn the car around and throw the bumper on, and then like I said, I'll be pulling it in here and doing the side skirts one at a time. That was very difficult and took a very long time, so let's see how long this takes. Alright, so we have it in here in the garage. I have the bumper there. I just have to mount the grill onto the bumper again, and then we'll be able to throw it right on. So let me time lapse that and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so there we go. That's what it looks like. We'll walk around here. And you might have noticed put the plate back on, and I don't know if I should or not. See, that looks pretty good. I'm really debating whether or not I'm going to put the plate on. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We'll see what happens. But now we're going to move on to the side skirts. This will be a fun task because I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this. But yeah, let's move on to that. Alright, so let me show you what we're working with here. I jacked the car up. I have to remove the front wheel because I had the mud flap there, so I went ahead and removed that. And then these are specific to my car, so they actually work out really good. This hole and this hole on the side here, they line up with this one and then this one down here, which works really well. There are some periodically through the bottom here, but I don't really see any way to mount them there. So if I have problems with it flexing this way, I'll just have to create some brackets for down there. And then as far as down here, there is just a singular one on the back here. And as you can see, I don't see a place to mount it there. So maybe what I'll do is I'll find a way, some way to get it. The single one, I'll probably remove this back wheel, get the single one mounted in there. And then the way they look at it, as you can see, it's kind of like bow down long ways. So when you press it on that side and press it on this side, it should form to the side of the car pretty well. And you shouldn't have to do anything in the middle. I was thinking I was gonna have to do that tape in here, but I had so much trouble with it not sticking to the front that I just really don't want to mess with it again. So hopefully just the 2 screws on either side will work to hold it still, and then even maybe if I have to, make some brackets for the bottom here, but I want to avoid tape at all costs. So let me go ahead and take this rear wheel off and time lapse everything, see if I can get this mounted up correctly. Here we go. I think that looks a lot better. So we got that one on. Looks pretty good. I really didn't have to use any tape at all. I didn't use any tape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the car around. We'll go do the other side and then we should be finished. Obviously everything except for the wing or spoiler, but I gotta wait for the epoxy on that to dry, and then we'll probably do that sometime tomorrow or something. But let me spin it around and show you guys the other side. All right, so I didn't point this out earlier, but right here you can see that's a indication of which side this is. This is obviously left side or driver's side. Just whatever, when you're sitting in the car facing, that's the side. So left, right. The other one was obviously marked just because of the mounting brackets. Like I showed you, there's those 2 in the front that match up correctly. That's what we wanted for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack things up and get this mounted up as well. Alrighty, so there we go. I got this side on and it looks pretty good. I'm gonna save the whole walk around the car and everything for the last part of the video, which will be the spoiler. So like I said, I gotta wait for it to dry. Once it's dry, I'll put it on and then we'll show you guys that and do a quick walk around of the car and show you all the after results. So yeah, I'll be back when that dries. Alright guys, so we saved that part for the walk around till after I put the spoiler on. So it's the next day that epoxy's had plenty of time to dry. So it's just kind of sitting here in my mess of a desk, but I haven't really done anything with it yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these nuts and hopefully these come loose without shredding absolutely everything. And then we'll pop the trunk and see if we can get everything to line up. So let me pull that off. It didn't quite turn out like I wanted it to. It's mounted up and it's sturdy, but this side is a little wobbly because the one bolt in the front, while I was pushing it down, kind of pressed it through, and so that was my mistake. But you know, it's gonna work for now. I am definitely going to change the setup in the future. Not sure how, or even just get a spoiler to replace it. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's kind of beat up, but for now it works, and we'll see what happens But yeah, let's see if we can get some shots of rollers and stuff. Alrighty guys, so hopefully you enjoyed that video that goes over how we put everything on the car. It is a few weeks later actually, and I am just out here in the field recording it for you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. If so, consider subscribing, hitting the like button as well. Leave a comment if you guys have any concerns or just any ideas for me in the future. I'm going to go ahead and get some shots of it so you guys can see an outro here. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.